No problem. Example 1, evaluate x squared y minus y if x equals -2 and y equals -4. The problems themselves are written just like this in the book. And it's all like crammed in there all together like this. And it's very, very, very simple to forget about something. So be careful that you look at the entire expression. Don't leave out any piece of it when you're trying to figure out what you're evaluating. So this is x squared y minus y. And they tell us very clearly here that x is -2. Bug me sometimes, and y equals -4. All right. So that's all the information we need. You cannot evaluate letters. So if you're told to evaluate letters, that means the letters have to be told to you. All right. So if we take a look at the expression, which is x squared y minus y. There's the expression that we're trying to evaluate. What's happening to x?
Being squared.
Being squared. What is x's value?
-2.
-2. If I put -2 squared, is the negative sign being squared? No.
No.
If I just put -2 squared. So what I'm saying is, if I write this, -2 squared, is the minus sign being squared? No. But this does say x squared very clearly there, right? So be careful that when you substitute in a number that's being raised to a power, that you put parentheses around that base to assure that you're telling yourself that both the sign and the number are being squared. Because again, this is telling me the entire value of x is supposed to be squared. X's entire value is -2, so the negative has to be in parentheses to make sure it's being squared. That is the most common mistake people make when evaluating expressions. They don't put parentheses where they need them, and they end up not getting the right sign on a term, and then all of a sudden everything goes haywire. Okay, what's y's value?
-4.
-4. Notice y here is being multiplied by x squared, right? So if I just write -4, that looks like -4, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to put parentheses around that also to show that multiplication is still happening here. And then finally it's minus y, so minus -4. This minus sign is the minus sign in the expression. This minus sign is the minus attached to the 4 that represents what y is. Again, parentheses can be used there also. That's not as important, but for me, if I see minus, I like to have the parentheses around the second minus. I think it looks nicer. Okay, so you evaluate the expression now that we got everything substituted in. All right, and this is a power that has to be done first. This is a multiplication that has to be done second, and then this is a subtraction that's done last. All right, so based on the order of operations, it doesn't always go left to right. In this case, it's pretty much left to right. Leftmost thing first, then the next thing is multiplication, the last thing is subtraction. All right, so -2 squared equals what? 4, positive 4, right? Which is still being multiplied by -4, which is now being added to 4. Notice that this minus sign means that this stuff over here has no effect on that stuff over there, right? So I can go ahead and do the minus means a plus without hurting anything. Next thing is multiplication. 4 times -4 is?
16.
-16, which is now being added to 4. And the final step, we make the decision, should I add or should I subtract based on the signs. These signs are different, so I should subtract. 16 minus 4 equals 12. And it should be negative because 16 is bigger than 4. Okay, so evaluation is what it always has been. Be careful that you substitute things in properly, and then make sure the order of operations is being followed when you are evaluating.